So here's the truth. If I had $1 for every time that I've heard a creator say, I'd blow up on socials if I could just be consistent, then I would be sitting here sipping mimosas and Bora Bora by now. But instead, I'm sitting in my office right now, ready to tell you what nobody else will. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brianna, your go-to content strategist who helps small creators turn themselves into content CEOs. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on a topic that affects so many of us creators: consistency. I know you hear it everywhere. Just be consistent and you'll grow. Just be consistent and you'll go viral. I don't know about you, but for me, that advice feels like a slap in the face when you're already trying to be consistent and just getting overwhelmed. Now, before we get into it, I already know 90% of you guys are going to watch the first minute of this video, then get overwhelmed because I'm calling you out and not even finish and understand what I'm trying to say here. But today we're not just going to talk about how to post more. We're uncovering why it feels so hard and what's really going on beneath the surface. My goal in this video is to give you a fresh perspective in a completely different way, how to approach showing up online in a way that feels sustainable, effective, and enjoyable. So be sure to stick around because this conversation is going to change how you think about consistency for good. So you're probably watching this video because you struggle with staying consistent on socials. Maybe you start strong, post regularly for like a week or two, and then poof, you disappear for an entire month. Or maybe the thought of trying to post daily feels like you're running a marathon every single morning right before you get your coffee. You feel stuck, you feel tired, and then maybe even a little guilty because you feel like you're not doing enough. And let's be real, the internet, specifically platforms like Instagram and TikTok, will make you feel like you have to post daily and consistently create new stuff because content on those platforms doesn't live nowhere near as long as evergreen options like YouTube. This focus on the hustle and the hyper performance can leave you feel like you're failing if you're not constantly pushing out new content. And in turn, all it does is create this little pressure cooker effect. So the typical advice here is just to be more disciplined. You're going to wake up, you're going to film content, you're going to go to work, you're going to come home, you're going to edit and post that content, and then you're going to repeat. Essentially turning yourself into nothing but a robot with a ring light. But the problem with that type of advice is that it misses the entire point. Consistency, the kind that actually helps you build a relationship with your audience, grow your community, and actually build trust, doesn't necessarily come from your willpower. Because oftentimes the struggle isn't necessarily that you lack discipline at all. It's usually deeper issues like clarity problems, burnt out problem, or a pressure to feel like you have to perform and be perfect in every one of your videos. So let's bust this first myth right now because it's a big one. Myth number one, consistency is posting every single day. Well, if you do post every day online, will you see growth? Yes, but it's bigger than that. It's not the only way to grow on socials. So instead of stressing about posting every single day, I want you to realistically think about how many times do you want to show up and then commit to that frequency. Maybe it's 3 times a week. Maybe you're launching 2 YouTube videos per month. Or maybe it's just you only showing up in your stories every single weekend. There is no one-size-fits-all approach, and I will fight the person who told you that it is. But now the question turns into, why is sticking to even a less frequent schedule still a struggle for some people? Which brings me to the real heart of the issue here. I hate to be the one to say this, but it's just truth. You're not truly confident in your brand or what you do or how you help people or where you want to go, and posting online is not going to fix that. And faking it till you make it or hoping for the best isn't a great strategy either. Trust me, I've tried. You may be struggling because you don't trust your content yet. You're doubting your message, you're doubting your abilities, and you're doubting whether the fact that anybody even cares about your content. This is deeply tied to you just feeling unsafe by being seen by a bunch of strangers. You might be scared to be a little bit cringy. You might be scared to actually get this whole content thing wrong. Or you're scared you'll be judged, or even worse than all of that, you're scared that you're going to be completely ignored. So what happens is it just gets easier to get stuck in the whole planning phase indefinitely. And honestly, for a lot of us, the act of posting on socials isn't necessarily just about sharing information. It's about proving something, proving that you're relevant, proving that you're talented. And then when a post flops or it doesn't get the engagement that you were hoping for, it doesn't just bruise your ego, it can feel like it hurts your actual identity. It feels like a direct reflection of whether you're good or not, or whether you're worth being on a platform or not. So let me tell you this, attaching an emotional weight to each piece of your content is the fastest way to burn out, get inconsistent, and then you adopt this imposter syndrome to where you just feel like the only way to grow is to copy and paste the same thing that the next person is doing. And while we're on this subject, let's talk about burnout because it's a massive issue for creators. By trying to manage every platform, every piece of content all at once without a team, this is incredibly difficult, babes. So stop treating yourself like you have 4 or 5 other minions running around able to do the work for you. Burnout comes from yourself. All of the self-imposed deadlines that you have, and then having these insanely high standards on when I'm going to get it done, when I'm going to post, when I'm going to reply, when I'm going to start this cycle all over again, without you taking the adequate time to rest and recharge. So what we should be doing is creating a sustainable workflow that works with your lifestyle outside of socials, not just against it. So if grinding harder isn't the answer, then what is? It's all about working smarter, not harder. One of the most powerful strategies for content creation to prevent burnout is to just repurpose your content. And this is myth number 3 that we're busting here. Consistency doesn't mean creating brand new content every single day. The idea here is simple. You have one core piece of content and you're going to repurpose it through additional means. So let me give you an example. You can create one core video or blog post per week. Then you're going to transcribe this video. And then we take snippets of this transcript and you can create multiple short form video posts. And this is going to extend the life of that one piece of content significantly. And if you're sitting here wondering if your audience will get tired of it or not, probably not. They probably missed the first post anyway. So repurposing and reposting it multiple times allows for a lot more of your audience to see that individual specific piece of content. This is what's going to allow you to show up on multiple platforms. And at the same time, you can cater to different consumption preferences. If somebody's a visual learner, boom, we're going to slap a bunch of B-roll. If somebody is watching your video on mute, cool, our repurposed video is going to have a bunch of text. If somebody is really into trends, awesome. Our next piece of content is going to have trending audio on it. All of this can come from the exact same one core video. So what you need is an intentional content workflow, one that's going to break down this whole process into bite-sized stages. So here is my 4P workflow. So think of this like an assembly line for your content, and it goes like this. Your first phase is the prepare phase. This is your ideation, your strategy, and your planning. Go ahead and block off time, whether it's weekly or it's monthly, to sit down and plan your content topics. This is where I like to call your ABCs comes into play. So you're going to ask yourself, what's one post that I can create this week that's going to attract a new audience? One post that's going to build trust in my existing audience, and then one post that's going to convert my viewer into a paid customer or convert my viewer from one platform to another platform, depending on your content style. In this stage, the only thing you're focusing on is brainstorming content ideas using those 3 questions, creating a Notion board or a spreadsheet to track these scripts and track these content ideas. You're also going to be generating your hooks or your intros. If you need help on how to start your videos, check out somewhere up here. I'll post a video on how to help you out with that. Another thing you're going to be doing is organizing your content based off of content theme or your storyline. So let's say we have a YouTube video talking about how we lost 10 pounds this week. What we want to do is we want to place a short form video right above that YouTube video that's going to help promote and push your audience and convert them from your short form platform to your long form platform. Does that make sense? Let me know. Now, if writing your content ideas out tends to feel hard, I want you to talk them out loud first. Speaking to yourself is a lot less overwhelming than having to type it all out. And on top of that, your videos will be more authentic and it's going to sound way less scripted. Another pro tip, I want you guys to start writing out your captions as soon as you think of your video idea, right? So as soon as you have your idea, instantly think, what would that caption look like? The reason why I want you to do this is because the one thing I've noticed through doing you guys' profile audits is that your captions tend to be a better hook than what you were going to say in the beginning of your video anyway. So instantly write out your captions, take that caption and allow it to be your hook. Allow it to be your hook. This is one of those work smarter, not harder tips and hacks that I have for you. Part 2 is the produce phase. This is where you're filming, you're recording, and you're gathering assets, which could be like B-roll or screenshots of something. Set up a dedicated time, maybe a Saturday morning, to shoot multiple videos in one go. Not so shameless plug, I have a video on how to batch film your content. Once again, it'll be here or the description, but you don't need to film more than 1 day a week. And yes, this also includes if you're a lifestyle creator. Most full-time creators don't edit and post on the exact same day unless maybe it's a trend. So on this day, you're gonna pick 3 to 5 ideas from that prepared list to film videos on. And then if you're doing a talking video like this, just simply change your top and everybody will think it's a whole new day anyway. If you're not doing a talking video and this is a B-roll day, be sure to just document the B-roll. We're not thinking about where does it plug and play into. No. We've already did that on the very first day, or we're gonna do that in our editing phase. Right now, we are just focused on getting the moment. So for example, if in our prepared day, we are like B-roll of me making coffee. We're not thinking how to make this aesthetically pleasing. We're just getting the B-roll of me making coffee, whatever that looks like. Because when you add B-roll in your polish phase, you're going to be surprised at how aesthetically pleasing it looks if you don't focus on curating it and you're just focused on documenting it. Oh, also here in your talking videos, I want you guys to stop your video 2 or 3 minutes in and go play it back. If you don't have a way of mirroring your video to see what you look like or check your audio or anything like that, stop within the first couple of minutes, play it back for a second, just make sure you're in frame, make sure the audio is connected. It'll save a shit ton of time of having to refilm. So now we're in the polish phase. This is your editing, captioning, adding hooks for YouTube, creating your thumbnails. A couple things to help you out with the whole editing process. If you're doing a short form video, it's pretty cool to go ahead and add those running captions. You remember in the hook video, I told you guys to make sure you have that title text in your hook. Make sure that's in there. Make sure you're trimming down any types of moments like that don't help push the story forward. Another thing to help you if you're a fairly new editor is to add overlays. If I am talking about making coffee, insert that B-roll of you making coffee. If I'm talking about journaling, it's that clip of when you were journaling. If you can show proof to your words at any point in your video, show the proof. If this is your bottleneck, or if this is the part that prevents you from being consistent, if you're looking at me saying, oh, you can come up with content ideas, I can script it, I can film it, I can be personable on screen, I can do all of that stuff, but editing is what stops me. I have a whole bunch of stuff in my drafts, then I need you to either outsource it or I need you to simplify it. Not every single video needs to be this full-on production. Or if you do want this full-on production, but you can't push it out fast enough, maybe you edit every other one of your videos and you hire an editor for the every other one of your videos. Phase 4 is the polish phase. This is your posting, your scheduling, and your engaging. We're not just going to post and ghost. Your publish window should include monitoring the first 30 to 60 minutes of your post for engagement. So that way you're responding to comments early. Imagine if you go back and forth for like 3 to 4 people in the first 2 minutes of your video. Now the comments are looking at 10 or 11 comments. And as soon as I see that on my feed, I'm like, dang, this might be interesting. So I'm more likely to stop and watch and listen. Also, this is where you're reposting your video on over to your stories, or you're scheduling this same video on multiple platforms. Save yourself some money. Just use the in-apps pre-scheduler. Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube all have pre-schedulers. You don't need to now pay $20 a month for an app to do that. Breaking into these 4 phases means you never have to do every single thing all at once. You're not having to switch gears from creative to technical to social all the freaking time. You're staying in one zone at a time, which allows you to have a way stronger output. Not to get too sciencey, but it reduces the cognitive fatigue that you have. Not only will it help you be consistent, but it'll also make you feel like you're always on top of your content because you have a structure. You have a list of things to do every single day. If I check this list off today, boom, I'm done. I don't have to worry about anything else. And the right workflow isn't necessarily the fanciest or the most aesthetically pleasing one. It's the one that works for you and your life. If you only have 2 nights a week and then maybe Sunday afternoons to work on your content, then cool. So what you're going to do is you're going to block off one night for prepare and produce, and then one other weeknight for your polish. And then Sunday afternoon is where you have your publish phase. And don't be afraid to adjust it when life changes. The beauty of systems is that they support you, they don't struggle you. So finally, let's talk about your deeper why. Why are we even creating content in the first place? If you're just creating content just to create content, then you're probably not going to watch this video anyways. Consistency is way more effective when you have a clear purpose. And this purpose is tied to your overall personal brand mission. And I really want you guys to think about this and answer this for me in the comments. What are you working towards? What is the ultimate goal? What specific offer, whether it's your affiliate links, whether it's your website, whether it's your digital product, whether it's your actual brick and mortar store, what specific offer are we leading people to? Having this defined helps you decide what type of content to create, and it gives your consistency some direction. Your motivation for being consistent with content creation should ultimately be to build your personal brand, becoming the first person or the first brand that somebody thinks about when they need a specific offer. And here's another super hard truth. Honestly, it's going to take time. You will very likely spend hundreds of hours in your first year of doing this and getting almost nothing in return. It could take up to 18 months or even years to gain traction. You will create bad content. You're going to create mediocre content at first. And as much as we want to fight this and get ahead of the curve, it's okay. You'll learn from it. Your early work honestly should be a little cringy and it should be a little embarrassing because that just proves that you're not afraid to try new things. The most important thing is showing up consistently, depending on what consistency means to you. So that way you can build trust and build that relationship with your community over time. The quality of your message is way more important than it being perfect or polished. I want you to be obsessively consistent with showing up on your terms. But the last thing that we need that to be, especially here on social media, is at the cost of your well-being. So schedule content ahead of time so that way you can take breaks. You get to enjoy your weekend and your vacations. Consistency should be an expectation built into your routine, not something that you try to squeeze in when you do have time. So let's wrap this up into something that you can actually use. If you've been struggling with consistency, it's not a discipline problem. It's a system problem, it's a mindset problem, or it's a burnt out problem that's masquerading itself as inconsistency. So here's the consistency framework all wrapped up quickfire edition. 1, redefine what consistency means to you. Stop thinking that it means you're posting every single day. It's about showing up in a way that aligns with you and your lifestyle and maintaining that. So that way you can build trust with your audience over time. Choose your individual frequency and then just stick with that. 2, uncover the real blocks. Acknowledge the clarity issues, the doubt and the fear of being judged, and the pressure to have to prove your worth. 3, build a sustainable workflow. Implement systems like repurposing your core pieces of content. So that way you can save time and also extend the content life. Structure your creative process like the prepare, the produce, the polish, and the publish framework. That's going to help avoid you from being overwhelmed. And then plan your content ahead of time. 4, anchor in your purpose. Get clear on your mission, your overall goal, and your specific offer. This gives direction to your content and it makes showing up feel way more effective. 5, manage your expectations. Understand that building a strong traction takes a long time. It could possibly take over a year. Honestly, it could take 2 months. Be okay with making imperfect content initially because that's the only way you're going to get better. The faster we push out this shitty content, the faster that we can make amazing, mind-blowing content that brands and our clients love and want to see all the time. 6 is going to be to prioritize your well-being. Recognize the signs of burnout. Build breaks and personal time into your schedule. For me, every 3 months, I have to take a month off of socials. That's the best way that I like to protect my mental health. And go ahead and pre-schedule your content in advance to free up some time. So if you've been beating yourself up about not posting lately or feeling like you're not consistent enough, I just want you to know that you are not falling behind. You are not broken. You are just likely carrying way more than anyone else can see. You do not need to grind your way back. What you need to do is reset the relationship between you and your content. So I want you to let me know down in the comments, what's been the hardest part of staying consistent for you lately? And if this video gave you even a little bit of relief or a new perspective, please do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It helps more creators who are feeling this exact same way find videos like this. And if you want to unpack the mindset, the strategy, and the real talk behind becoming a successful content creator, then you already know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I genuinely hope this helps you all. Please let me know. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Love you. Bye.